Alright, what's up, boys? This is Joe. We're here with the week 7 recap on the marathon series. We're still going hard. We're going to talk through a little uniqueness here and get right into things. So to start off with, recap, weights going hard, still increasing in a lot of things. We're starting to slowly get dialed in on the diet, which we're going to get into in just a second. Kind of what we're planning for with that. Otherwise, we are really just kind of dialing in and getting ready for this 5K this past week. A lot of just making like trial 5K runs. So I'm recording this a little later. Usually I record these on Fridays. Today I waited until Sunday. And yesterday on Saturday I did a kind of a split jog, walk, and then full out run. Just to kind of, 1 mile each, just kind of get ready for the marathon. Expectations, not a lot. Anything below 30 minutes we're going to be happy with. So we were just kind of doing a lot of training this past week in the running aspect of it to get things ready to go, make sure my system's active, getting those last final pushes to really be ready for it. And this will be, again, my first formal race outside of like high school 10 years ago, so pretty excited for it. It's not going to be a super serious thing. Like, I'm probably going to wear my full Braves gear, hopefully I remember to put on the GoPro and record that, just to see some different scenery in the video for once next week. But I'm going to be doing it with my brother-in-law, so mostly for fun, but also with the intent of kind of getting a baseline. This is where I'm at. So anything below 30 minutes is good. That's where we want to be. 30 minutes is actually where we want to be. Anything below that is nice. My brother-in-law said he was shooting for like 25 minutes. I don't know if we'll quite keep up with that, but we'll see. We're just going to send it, go as hard as we can, probably gas ourselves out and throw up. But that is what it is. We're gonna catch it on the GoPro. Hopefully I remember to strap it on. Maybe a little pre-workout beer to go. We'll see. It's gonna be a fun time. See, that's what the running training's looking like. Workout training, pretty similar. There aren't gonna be a lot of news on that other than popping up the weights that we're doing here and just seeing things are steadily improving. We're getting the diet locked in a little bit more each week. As I'm starting to get used to running. This 5K we're gonna just get through, and then we've got Thanksgiving, and then we'll be on to the next week and training for whatever's next. So as far as what is coming next week, of course we've got the 5K. We've talked about that for a couple weeks now. Otherwise, that's pretty much all training's next week's gonna be. So going to be a little bit of a different format next week probably. We'll still pop up our weight training and all that and see how everything's going, but as far as what's going on, not going to be a lot of new things from the training side of it. We'll see a little bit of a recap on the 5K and go into depth on how did I feel through that, what am I looking forward to, do I still think I can do a marathon in 6 months? Because I think it's 7 months now technically instead of 8, 9. So we're wrapping in there pretty quick. The year's flying by, and got a couple big traveling points coming up already in the next few months as well that we're already planning out. So we'll see how things go. Not tomorrow, Thursday, and hopefully get after it. Otherwise though, and this is gonna be probably a little shorter than normal, but the other big thing that we want to touch on here is we're thinking of doing a little bit of a different format. We've talked about macros and kind of where I'm at and tracking that and how I intend to do that. What I'm going to say is baseline right now, we're looking at 2,500 calories a day. Trying to get around 200 grams of protein, maybe a little bit less. Just trying to keep it locked in as far as that gram or so of lean protein to my lean body mass. So around 180 to 200 grams is what I'm shooting for each day. Thanksgiving, so I'm not tracking this coming week, otherwise we'd have that. Just because it's Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out. I already know I will. I'm gonna be cheating the whole week. So, I know I'll be going through some beers. I'll be going through some food. I'll be going through some of that pumpkin pie. So, no point to track that this week. I mean, I'm gonna be mindful, right, mentally, doing what I do normally, but we're not gonna put it in the old Macro Factor tracking app, which I use Macro Factor. But following that, we might mix it up a little bit and try a recording of like cooking, like a cooking recording type deal. Instead of me voicing over some leaves falling everywhere in the nice fall California weather, you might be able to see some voiceovers of not stream, sorry, recording, and with the intent of kind of showing this is what my macros are looking like and everything like that. For the most part, it's going to be, like I said, 2,500 calories a day, and then about 180, probably after Thanksgiving, it's going to be 180 to 190 grams of protein, and everything else is just going to be filled in. All the other excess calories are just going to be filled in with carbs and fats. We'll kind of go into depth on, dude, why aren't you tracking your macros? For one, it's very time consuming to do that. I don't have the time for that right now. And for two, I just cheat code it. I take a greens powder. I'll show you the greens powder I take and kind of what it has in there. But for the most part, it's got a lot of vitamins. It's got a lot of other, minerals that you might be lacking in a normal day-to-day routine. And it's got a probiotic. So it's just all those healthy things to help with your gut health, making sure your digestive system's working good, and just building that one block, right? Because, each system kind of works together with each other, and you don't want one to fall behind. It's kind of like some of the finer points in here, like where the pec connects to your skeletal structure and all that. You don't want those to be weak, so you gotta train those little things up. I'm going through this with running where my calves are lacking behind because I don't really train calves in a stereotypical dude training type fashion. I just do everything else. So now my calves are catching up, right? So same thing with your digestive system, cardio system, and all that. You want those systems to all be up to par, and it's gonna be impossible to make everything equivalent, right? But you want to make sure you're doing everything right. But yeah, otherwise that'll be probably not week 8. That'll be so the next 2 weeks. Looking ahead, next week's gonna be the 5K recap of Thanksgiving. Can be a little different, a little more focused in on the specific run, not just a general. I'm working on long distances this week, or I'm working on a specific target, or I'm working on cadencing, or anything like that. It's going to be a very specifically orientated towards how did I feel during the 5K. We might see how things go with that. And then the week after that, week 9, a little bit of a teaser. It's going to be a little more nutrition focused, kind of talking through that part of it, because I am slowly leaning up a little bit, getting a little, maybe not necessarily losing weight, but I'm increasing my lean muscle mass and decreasing my fat percent slowly over time, very, very slowly. And it's important to take into consideration how are you able to do that while continuing to progress, right? Because I think a lot of people, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I'm not an expert, so for sure do some research and ask people who are educated in this, and they'll be able to help you out. But I'll give you my 2 cents on it, and we'll go from there. And then in a couple weeks, we'll kind of evaluate where we're at and start training for the next big event. We just had a blast this past week with training, getting around Tarkov, staying consistent, doing a couple of mock 5Ks, which really, I didn't do 5 kilometers. I did 3 to 3.25 miles, which is, I think 5K is roughly 3.1 miles. So it's like 167 miles, 3.167 or something. I can't remember exactly. So not exactly a 5 kilometer, but it's close enough for all intents and purposes. If I went a little over, it'd be okay. So I had to say, we're getting after it. Got the big week coming up, and then we'll build on from there, boys. But if you got any questions, just let us know in the comments, and we'll get the information as fast as possible to you. I appreciate you, boys. We'll see you next week.